I'll start with Ajit. Ajit, can you brief about yourself?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Aziz Rahman. I worked in Wipro as a Google AdWords 2.10 years. I'm having 2.10 years of experience currently.
Okay. Uh, Junaid? Junaid, are you there?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Regarding?
Just brief about yourself.
Hi guys. My name is Sheikh Junaid. I've been in IT industry since past 3 years. So I'm currently working in TCS as a support engineer. So while working, I've been learning about this data engineering thing. I learned from scratch. So I've been trained in Spark, Hadoop, and Hive, along with some database like a Snowflake, and have knowledge on Scala programming and some knowledge on Databricks. And I'm just trying to integrate my knowledge with the cloud. So yeah, I'm looking for opportunities on this platform. So all in all, this is about me. Thank you.
Thank you. Karan?
Hey, hi everyone. Myself Karan Vani. I've done my bachelor's in computer applications and I have a total 6 years of experience. I'm currently working as a support engineer. Thank you.
Thank you. Prashik?
Yeah, hi all. Myself Prashik Mayur. I have total 2.5 years of experience and I am working as a data engineer at Future Generali and just wanting to explore more into GCP. That's why I joined this call.
Okay. And Sai Reddy?
Hi Ganesh. Uh, for what purpose I joined a little later? So, hello.
Yeah, I'll just ask you your background. Just
Oh,
brief.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Currently, I'm working as a Power BI developer, and I do have around 5 years of experience.
Okay, got it. Yeah, Swagat, you can go ahead.
Okay, fine. So all of you are able to hear me, right? Clearly, can you just confirm?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's fine. So myself, Swagat, I have close to like more than 10 years of experience in IT, and I've been working as a for data engineer for almost past 8, 9 years. And let me also share my screen as well. So I have close to 7 years of experience in Google Cloud particularly, and also I have experience in other cloud platforms like in Azure and Snowflake as well. Uh, so this course, which we are going to start, so this will be focusing on the data engineering. And when I say data engineering, using Google Cloud services. So there are other cloud platforms like Azure and AWS as well, which you might be knowing. But in this course, we are going to focus on the Google Cloud services. So there are different Google Cloud services, which I'll give you one walkthrough as well on what all services are there and what all services we are also going to discuss. So I'll just give you, we'll have that discussion as well. And in this course, as I told, we are going to cover GCP services and with some part of the data engineering services as well. So this course will not only help you in order to clear your certification exam in Google Cloud, uh, but also you can comfortably clear any kind of data engineering interview as well. So as of now, like, there is no prerequisite required for this course. But if you have some knowledge on Python and SQL, then that will be an added advantage for you. If you don't have also, it's fine. Uh, so in GCP, just like Azure or AWS, so GCP stands for Google Cloud Platforms. And in case of Google Cloud certification exam, so currently they're asking MCQ based questions in certification exam, but it will be covering all the services. So there are many services in this Google Cloud Platforms. We'll talk about that, and we are also going to cover all the services which are needed or which will be asked in your certification exam as well. You may not may not use all the services in your real-time project where you are going to work, but in certification exam they are going to ask the questions from all the services. So along with data engineering certifications, there are also some other certifications in Google Cloud as well, like cloud developer, cloud DevOps, or certifications related to the networking, certifications related to the machine learning. So there are other other certifications are also there. So here we are going to focus on the GCP data engineering certifications. And as I told, this course will not only help you to clear the certification, but beyond that also how you can comfortably clear the interview, how you can work on the real-time GCP data engineering project. This course will be very helpful for that, because that is how we have designed this course, so that once you have completed this course, you can comfortably work on a GCP data engineering project. And so I'll talk about the course, what all things we are going to cover in this course as well. And we are also going to do lots of hands-on project as well throughout this journey. We are also going to do lots of hands-on project. So in case of GCP, so how this course is designed, or what are things we are going to cover. So let me get. So first of all, if you are planning to switch into data engineering, or if you are already in data engineering domain, you need to know Python, you need to know SQL. These are mandatory. Okay. Without this, you cannot start your data engineering journey. Along with this, you also need to have knowledge on PySpark, or somebody having knowledge on Spark Scala. That is also fine. PySpark is nothing but Spark with Python. Okay. So if you know Python, if you know SQL, it's fine, well and good. If you don't know also, we are going to have a kind of uh, refresh refresher session, which will be like where we are quickly going to cover this Python and SQL over the weekends. We are not going to discuss about Python and SQL on the regular classes. So regular classes, mostly we are planning from Monday till Friday. And over the weekend, whenever I am available, or whenever you guys are available, on Saturday, Sunday, we are going to conduct the classes on SQL and on Python. But this will be a kind of a refresher session where we are not going to cover in detail, but still I'll be covering all the topics which are required for as a data engineer. I'm going to cover all the topics for SQL and all the topics for Python.
Sorry to interrupt you, Swagat.
Mm.
Actually, I want to know something. We should have a knowledge fully on Python and SQL, or minimum basics is enough.
Up to certain standard, like That is what I will discuss that in the class. What all things you need to know. At least you should know the advanced level of knowledge in Python and SQL. In Python,
So
there are hmm,
you can just tell me from up to where we have to learn, so we can follow that alternate.
sorry,
Yeah, in Python or SQL, up to this part, we you should know that like that. You can tell. So we can learn from ChatGPT or something or online course something.
you can you don't need to learn from anywhere because obviously I will provide you some reference materials as well. But you need to have some advanced level of knowledge in Python and SQL. So Python, if I'll talk particularly, all the basic things in the Python, along with the OOPS concept of the Python, you should know in detail. And also, you should know the modularity concept of the Python, how you can do the modularity, how to do the exception handling, how to use libraries like pandas and numpy. So these things you should know, along with the basic part of the Python, like list, dictionary, tuple, all those things. Along with that, you should know also about all this. Similarly, when it comes to SQL, so along with the normal create table insert command or select statement, so you should also know the advanced level of SQL. So like how to use the different types of arithmetic function or any analytical function like rank, range rank, how to find out the cumulative sum, how to work with stored procedure as well. What is stored procedure? What is UDF, user defined function in case of SQL? So these things also you should be doing, okay, in case of SQL, along with the basic SQL as well. Okay, is it clear?
Yes. Swagat. Thank you.
Okay. And then, so PySpark we are going to discuss on in the class itself. So in the regular classes, we are going to discuss about PySpark, and uh, then we are going to start with the GCP services. So PySpark also will discuss in between. I'll tell you where we are going to discuss about the PySpark. So first, we are going to discuss about the data engineering fundamentals. So in the data engineering fundamentals, we are going to cover the concept like ETL versus ELT. And then we are going to cover the concept like what is data warehouse, what is data lake, what is data lake house, right? And what is delta lake. So all these concepts we are going to cover in case of data engineering fundamentals. Similarly, we are going to cover about the normalization. We are going to cover about the data modeling. What is data modeling? What are the different types of data modeling? We are going to cover about the SCD concept. Different types of SCD are there, 1, 2, 4, 6. These are the types of SCD are there. So these things we are going to cover in as part of data engineering fundamentals. And then we are going to start a discussion with the GCP basics, where we are going to cover the GCP basic services. So like we are going to cover about, sorry, we are going to cover GCP compute engine services, GCP Kubernetes services, GCP App Engine services, cloud function, cloud run, IAM services. So these along with some cloud basics as well, we are going to cover. Basics of the GCP, like what is a region, what is zone, what are the different type of services are there, and how you can navigate in the GCP console. So this is the GCP console, how you can navigate through this GCP console, what is project ID, what is project number. So all these things we are going to discuss as part of this GCP basics. And then we are going to start with the storage product. So we are going to, so here this is the GCP basic services, which I just now tell. And then we are going to start with the GCP storage services. So in the storage services, so there are many services which are available. Storage services we are going to cover. So some of the important services are GCS, and then what is storage transfer services. Similarly, what is cloud SQL. So this is part of database services. So we're going to discuss about this storage services, and then after storage services, we'll move to database services. Database services. So in the database services, there are again SQL databases and no SQL databases as well. We are going to cover both SQL and no SQL databases. In case of SQL databases, there are some databases like Cloud SQL or Cloud Spanner. So these are some of the SQL databases which we are going to cover. Similarly, as part of no SQL databases, there is Bigtable, there is your data store or Firestore. So these are the kind of NoSQL databases. Again, I'll talk about what is this SQL, what is the NoSQL, what are the difference between those two. So we'll also talk about that. After database services, we are going to cover, or we are going to discuss about the data warehouse services, where we are going to discuss about BigQuery in detail, because this is very important. So we are going to discuss everything about BigQuery. And then we are going to start with after database, then we are going to discuss about the, so till now what we have done, we have discussed about storage and database services. Then we are going to discuss about data processing services. So in case of data processing services, there are different types of services are there. There is data flow, there is data proc, there is data fusion. We are going to discuss about each of these services. What is the significance of each of the services? When we should use what type of services? And also how we can use these services in order to process big data. So all those things we are going to discuss in the data processing services. And also here in the BigQuery, we are also going to discuss how we can integrate BigQuery with DBT as well. So after data processing services, then we are going to discuss about the composure basically. So which is, you can say, orchestration services. Orchestration tool or orchestration services, which is cloud composure, okay, which is nothing but the Airflow or managed Airflow services. And then we are going to discuss about, after the composure, there are some other services which we are also going to discuss, like there is DLP API or data loss prevention API. We are going to discuss about that. We are also going to discuss about data catalog as well. And we are going to discuss about Looker Studio, which is mainly used to create some kind of a dashboard in case of Google Cloud, and some ML services as well. We are going to discuss on a basic level. On a basic level, we are going to discuss about the ML services, because this is also required in order to clear the certification exam. So this is what we are going to cover. And when I say we are going to discuss about the services, so we are going to discuss all the theoretical concept theoretical part. Along with the hands-on we are going to do. So when I say hands-on, you can interact with the Google Cloud services or any services in basically in three ways. One is using the console. Console means this is the console. Directly you can go to the services. Let's say I want to go to BigQuery. I can directly go to BigQuery and I can start running some kind of queries in BigQueries here. Okay, so that is what console means. Second is using CLI, which is command line tool, or you can say command line interface through CLI. CLI means you can go to Google Cloud and here you can see there is something known as Cloud Shell. Okay. So you can use this Cloud Shell, and also there is another option, which is like you can use the Cloud SDK as well. So software development kit. So you can also use Cloud SDK as well in order to interact with the Google Cloud services. So you'll also use that as well. And the last one is using some kind of client API. So where we are going to use Python intensively, because when I say each of the services, you need to know how you can interact with each of these services using Python. Okay, so that also we are going to discuss. These are the three ways how you can practice the hands-on. Along with, as I told, some projects also we are going to do. Okay. So after that, I'll also share some sample resume with you for different level of experience, and sample resume I'll be sharing, and sample question set for your certification exam. I'll be also sharing. So these are the two things which I'll be sharing after the completion of the course. So this is the plan. Every day I'll I'll confirm the timings to Ganesh. Okay, and you can check with him. So mostly it will be on weekdays, either every weekdays or on the alternate weekdays. So I'll let you know. And on the weekend only it will be for Python and SQL, not mandatory for everyone. If you know Python SQL, you don't want to learn, you can skip the weekend classes as well, no issues. All the recordings, all the material will be shared with you, and it will be uploaded to Drive, and the Drive access will be provided to all of you. There will be a dedicated WhatsApp group as well, where you all will be added, along with me also will be there in that same group. And if you have any issues, any doubts, you can also ask in that same group, and I'll answer all of your queries. So that is how like we are planning to begin this journey. And I have been teaching for past almost 3 to 4 years on different cloud technologies, on Google Cloud, on Azure, on Snowflake. So that's about me. And if you have any questions, anything, anywhere you need more clarity, please feel free to ask.
I saw that. According to you, which one is the best technology? Google or Azure or AWS compare compared to these technologies?
Everything is best. So you just need to learn one cloud, and then you can switch to other cloud as well easily. So there is nothing that this is best, this is worst. Right? Initial days, if you had asked me when like every company had just started migrating to the cloud, very initial days, I would have told you like AWS is the best. But right now, I think everyone is equal. So I can see huge demand for GCP, huge demand for Azure, huge demand for AWS as well, particularly in the data engineering domain. so I can't come.
Okay.
And Swagat, are you going to cover Databricks as well here?
No, not Databricks. We'll cover Spark. Yeah, that I missed. So Spark will be covering not in the starting session. We'll be covering before before discussing Dataproc. We'll cover Spark in detail, but not
Okay.
Databricks. If you want to practice in Databricks only, you are using Spark, but there are other fundamentals, other basics are also there related to the Databricks. And if you want to practice, you can practice. I can show you how to create any Databricks community edition account and practice Spark there. But we are not going to cover Databricks in detail.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, hi Swagat, Prashik here. Yeah, so thank you for this information and all, and like it was really helpful. But I wanted to know like about data flow actually. Okay, so what are you going to cover in data flow?
And also,
Okay, yeah,
data flow is the data processing services where you can process both batch as well as streaming data. And in data flow, basically we use a framework which is known as Apache Beam framework.
yeah.
And I'll cover about that Apache Beam framework in detail, how to write all these programs in data flow in order to process the data basically using data flow. So that is what we are going to cover. It's a serverless service available within the Google Cloud platforms. And we are going to discuss about both batch as well as the streaming data pipeline. And when you are going to create any pipeline, you are going to use Apache Beam. So Apache Beam along with Python, we are going to use.
Okay, along with Python, Apache Beam. Okay, so this will be covered in detail, right? Data flow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. Another thing is about DBT, BigQuery and DBT. So, what will be covered here in BigQuery and DBT?
Everything in BigQuery will be covering. Everything starting from BigQuery architecture, what is BigQuery and how you can use, what are the different types of SQL functions were available in BigQuery, how you can process different type of data, including some kind of semi-structured data like JSON, Parquet, ORC, how you can use, and
Okay.
also how you can integrate BigQuery with other services as well. How you can integrate BigQuery with DBT, what are the things are there in DBT. So all of these things we are going to cover.
Okay, 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 got it. Also, one more question. You said that you would cover cloud functions as well, Google functions. So, what will be the level of coverage there? Like, you'll teach us to deploy functions or just a basic overview?
Obviously, if you are creating the function, you are going to deploy it. So there are two versions
Okay.
right now available. One is like fast and second version of the cloud function. We'll see the difference and how you can utilize both of these
Utilize.
functions.
Okay.
So we'll solve the different use cases using this cloud function. And obviously, if you are creating the function, as I told, this is completely like most of the things we are going to discuss we're using hands-on. So obviously we are going to deploy the function and we are going to solve different types of use cases using the cloud function.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much. Huh? Thank you.
Anything else? Anyone? Okay. So this was all about the course. And So here we'll discuss for some time about this BigQuery, because you need to have to do any kind of function. You need to have an account. You need to create an account in the Google Cloud. Using the Google Cloud, you need to create an account, and also I'll tell you how to create the account. So you need some basic thing. One is you need to have a new Gmail ID, and you need to have a new credit card. Even the debit card also will work, but if you have the credit card, then it's better. And make sure that on that credit card, the international transaction is enabled. So these are the two things which you need to have, and also make sure that whatever the address, whatever the mobile number you are giving is attached, like it's the same whatever what you have shared with that particular bank. So if any of these things is not matching, then you may face some issues while creating the account. So make sure that you validate all of those things, whatever the mobile number, whatever the card you are using, make sure that international transaction is enabled, and you are using same address information which you have given to your bank as well. So this is the console which you can see on the Google Cloud. Once you this account I created long back, not this. So I created this account earlier. Right now, this account has expired and there is no credit left. But once you create one account, so you'll be able to see the credits as well. If you'll go to your billing, and here you'll be able to, it's showing that it's already, the free trial amount is already over. And so there is no credit left on this account. But when you are going to create a new account, new free trial account, so you are going to get $300 of the credit. So, but there are some services which are free, like you can use up to a certain extent. So, for example, this BigQuery, I think it is free for some duration. Okay, so this is the BigQuery, and it's the data warehouse platform in Google Cloud. So we have different data warehouse platforms. So we'll discuss a little bit about BigQuery. This is not the BigQuery classes, just for the demo purposes. We are going to discuss a little bit about the BigQuery, but we'll discuss in detail in a systematic manner, not on the very first class. But as I told, in the same plan, we are also going to discuss about the BigQuery. So in BigQuery, BigQuery is the data warehousing platform. And when I say data warehousing platform means this is mainly used for OLAP processing, which stands for online analytical processing. So I'm not going to discuss about the architecture of the BigQuery. So BigQuery is a data, whenever you are going to store anything on the BigQuery. So basically, in case of GCP, whenever you are going to create an account in GCP, you will be assigned, you are going to create one project ID. Okay. So within that project ID or within that project, you are going to create all the resources, whether it is BigQuery, whether it is Dataflow, whether it is Dataproc, you are going to create all the resources within that project ID. And whenever the billing will happen, you saw the billing page, right, just now. So whenever the billing will happen at the project level. Okay, the billing will happen at the project level. Let's say you have created multiple projects. One project you have created for the dev, one project you have created for the test environment, one project you have created for QA, one project you have created for prod. So like that, every project will be having its own project ID, and the billing will happen at this project level. Okay. So here, if you'll see, like we have BigQuery in case of a BigQuery, BigQuery is the data warehousing solution. You can store the data in a structured manner within BigQuery. Okay. And whenever you are going to create any table or any data set in BigQuery, so we'll have a project ID, as I told. Within the project ID, we are going to create something known as data set. So you can say data set is similar to your database in case of RDBMS system. So in RDBMS system, we have database. So data set is similar to that. And within the data set, we are going to create tables. We can create views. Then there are different kind of views that are there. That is views, that is materialized view. We can create store procedures, anything we can create within the data set. Whenever you are going to access this table, so you are going to use the project ID, you are going to use the dataset ID and the table name. That is how you are going to access the access the table. So for example, this is my project ID. What you can see here, this is my project ID. Within that project ID, I have created some data set. So these are all data set. So I can go to any of this data set. Let's say I'll go to here and I can just click on query, and it is just going to create a sample select star query using which I can fetch some data from this particular table. It is showing cannot read because it is in different location. Let's go to some other data set. Okay, so here you can see we are getting some result, right? So this is my result. And here you can see once I'll select this query, here it will show me what is the, you can see here, it is showing, I have not yet run the query, but still it is showing this query is going to process 1.6 GB of the data when the query will run, right? So this is known as dry run. In BigQuery, we call it as the dry run because these are all GCP services, like all these are services. So whenever you are going to use any of these services, you are going to pay for it, right? Whatever the service you use, whether it is Dataflow, BigQuery, Dataproc, any service you are going to use, based on the configuration, whatever you have selected, you are going to pay for it. Okay. So when it comes to BigQuery, so BigQuery will charge you based on the scanned data, scanned size of the data, which means, let's say I'm going to run this query, right? This query, if I'm going to run, and here it is showing me it is going to scan 1.6 GB of the data. It does not matter how many rows you are fetching, because if you'll see here, I'm just fetching 1000 rows, right? But when I'm going to trigger this query, when I'm going to run this query, it is going to scan 1.6 GB of the data, right? So BigQuery will charge me for 1.6 GB of the data, not for the size of the result, okay? Not for the size of the result. So that is what you can also see from here. This is what is the byte processed, okay? So it does not matter what is the size of the result, but BigQuery will charge you based on the size of the data you are going to scan. So that's why we have different kind of optimization technique are there in BigQuery, like partitioning, clustering, which we are going to discuss in the BigQuery classes. So those are the kind of optimization technique which we can use to reduce this scanned size, okay? To reduce this scan size so that the cost will be reduced. Not only on that, not only on this, also it will charge you based on the storage. What is the size of the data you are storing, right? It is also going to charge you on that. And also it will charge you based on the networking cost as well. So let's say, for example, you are sitting in India, but your table, all the tables are created in US location. Now, when you are running any query, the data will be traveling from US to India, right? Through optical fiber cables. So that is what networking cost means. And you are also going to pay for that networking cost as well. So these are the different way how BigQuery can charge you. And you should know about that so that you can optimize the cost of running the query, or you can optimize your BigQuery usage cost. So that is what we are also going to discuss. Okay. So that's all for today. If you have any questions, you can ask, or else you can check with Ganesh about the timings and schedule as well. Anyone having any
Yeah,
question?
Swagat, I have one question. So, what will be the total duration of this course?
I think it's going to take 1.5 months.
Okay, 1.5 month.
Hmm.
And like some, I guess, 40 classes, 30, 40 classes?
Not 30, 40, 40 to 45.
Achha, 40 to 45 classes. So, when is this going to start? This classes?
You can check that with Ganesh.
Okay, Ganesh will tell. Okay, no problem. No problem. So, you will be teaching all this, right? No,
Yeah, only me.
only you. Okay, sure, sure. Yeah, okay. And like, how long will be each class for every day?
1 hour.
Okay, 1 hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, thanks.
So, any more questions from anyone? Keshav, Prashik, Karan, Junaid, Ajay.
No, Ganesh, no.
So we can start the classes from Wednesday. I'll talk to you one by one, like tomorrow morning. I'll give you a call. We can have a call and discuss. And I'll be creating WhatsApp group. So through there, like we can communicate. And I'm planning to start the classes from like Wednesday.
Sure, bro.
Okay then. If you don't have any questions for now, then I'll see you in the first session. And I'll give you a call tomorrow then, tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.